Greetings to you all, I'm Accompany 2, Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun. Myself versus 7 AI in Skirmish mode. I will be playing as Nod, they will be playing as the hardest difficulty AI with super weapons enabled. That means there will be iron cannons and temples of Nod all over the place. Should be great. Let's crack on. Now, a little bit of setup. We're going to be Nod, we're going to be... you know what? Sky blue. Just to mix things up. Bases, yes, because otherwise the game is ridiculous. Crates, no, because that's too much RNG. Everything else, default. Don't feel like changing anything. Unit count 1, so we only start with an MCV and not a random detachment of units. Credits 10,000, because, okay. Tech level 10. This means every single unit in the game is unlocked. That means we have the super weapons, iron cannon, cluster missile, hunter seeker, not the waste missile, or the chemical missile, whatever you want to call it, because there won't be any waste on that level. So, we can build a facility if we want to, for some reason, but there won't be any waste to collect. But we'll have the normal cluster missile. AI level will be on 2, the hardest level. AI players will be 7, the most. Speed will be, I don't know, 5. Let's choose a map. Now, we could create our own map, of course, but I don't know if they're going to come out particularly good. I don't have any faith in the map creation system. Instead, I'm going to play on Tread Lightly, because it's at the bottom of the list. That doesn't mean anything, but it's noteworthy. Now, I will be honest, I'm recording this setup in post, after the game has happened. And I can tell you that this game you're about to see is a good one. It is a roller coaster. I highly recommend watching it all the way through. You're going to think it's over, and it's not over. It's full of surprises. You're going to love it. But welcome. Attempt number 4. Alright, let's try this again. Where am I?
Construction complete. Cannot deploy here. Building.
You'd think I'd be learning this map by now, but I'm really not. But yes, welcome. So this is the 7-player versus AI with super weapons on. It's a different beast to the last video, because the super weapons will rip me to shreds. What's the solution for that problem? Don't really know. Haven't found a solution yet. Rebuilding everything the super weapons destroy seems to be my main port of call.
Construction complete. Building.
Anyway, I need to explore. I've never been in this spawn location before. I don't really know where I am.
New construction options. Building. Unit ready. Unit ready.
I mean, I know I'm on the right, because that's where the edge of the screen is, but...
Building.
Second source of Tiberium, nice, nice. Enemy harvester already, not nice.
Training.
That bridge is broken. I think all of the bridges in this level start broken, which is a strange design choice.
Unit ready.
You'll notice there's no repairing box on my side. You have to get your engineers into the middle of the map in order to repair the bridges.
Construction complete.
This is greedy harvester going straight from my blue Tiberium. What is this?
Building. Construction complete. Building.
Going for some early defenses. It's not uncommon that the enemy rushes me
Unit lost. Building.
with a detachment of
Silos needed.
Titans or attack bikes, that kind of tech level of unit, but en masse.
Unit ready.
And a couple of lasers will keep me safe. Oh look, here we go. Right on cue.
Unit ready.
Why does it strike me that the AI is already allied against me?
Construction complete. Unit ready.
None of you guys want to fight one another then?
Unit ready. Building.
Oh no, look, there he goes. There's
Unit
one Nod
lost.
buggy.
Base under attack. Training.
Gave a little chip damage to that Wolverine and he gave up.
Ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Okay, so it seems everybody's decided to immediately go for me. Even the harvesters. So that's wonderful. Fortunately, rocket infantry are surprisingly strong. You know what else is surprisingly strong? Artillery. So the advantage of playing Nod, and the reason why I saved Nod for this, is because artillery are absolutely insane. As I'm sure you're familiar. Basically, I can defend my base with a few lasers just to hold the enemy up, slow the enemy down. Can't think of any more direction-based. Not a bomber as well. Why does everyone hate me so much? Just the idea is the lasers can slow the enemy down when they're attacking and give the artillery time to bombard them until there's nothing left.
Unit ready.
The artillery are my base defense. They're better than obelisks.
Building.
They're better than any actual base defense in the entire game. Artillery are just insane. Okay, a little bit of fighting happening on the map. That makes a change. Should explain these ice flows, you can see. Dotted about. If you drive over an ice flow in a heavy vehicle, then the ice will crack. If you drive over a cracked piece of the ice, then the vehicle will sink.
Under attack.
Light vehicles are things like buggies, attack bikes, harvesters, for balance reasons, I guess. Wolverines are considered light. But a Titan, for example, will sink in the ice. And so will an artillery. I would have thought artillery was somewhat light, but no, artillery sinks as well. I don't know why I think artillery is light, it's just in my mind, it sort of is. I need SAM sites. I can't be bombed my whole life. I also need room to build.
Building.
Not sure what all this hate is for me right at the start of the level, but you know, bring it on. Why not? Infantry can of course walk over the ice flows as well. It doesn't matter. Cyborgs don't sink just because they're made of metal. It's fine. Is this fully sealed off up here? Okay, so the ice flow is the only way into my base. That's really good, because it means no large vehicle is going to ever attack me. I'm basically at the mercy of flying units, super weapons, light vehicles and infantry. Which is quite a frightening list when you say it out loud, but you know, could be worse.
Building.
Our blue coming back with his harvester. Let's see how he deals with the artillery.
Building.
Well, that's a damn quick iron cannon. All right. So it begins.
Building.
Now, my best plan against the constant iron cannons is just to rebuild the target and hope that the AI targets the same thing again. I am okay losing a laser every time that iron cannon fires.
Building.
I am not okay losing any more important buildings, any more expensive buildings, and I'm not okay if all 7 AI choose to iron cannon me. Which is not possible because there's at least one Nod we've seen, but you know, work with me here. You know what I mean. If they all aim everything at me, we're going to be in some trouble.
Building. Insufficient funds.
Oh, here's the next harvest. What? What was that? I didn't even see that. That must have been a Hunter Seeker. Well, I didn't even see it.
Base.
In fact, I don't even remember what building was there.
Unit lost. Construction complete.
Oh, playing with super weapons on is so frightening.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
I'm just trying to defend.
Unit ready.
Just getting to a stable point of surviving is so difficult in this challenge I've given myself.
Building.
I've remembered, by the way, it's a Tiberian refinery that was there that got destroyed. I noticed I had 4 harvesters competing for 2 refineries. Please, no. Okay, it wasn't aimed at me. So we're gonna hear missile launch a lot throughout this video. Don't be scared of it. Doesn't mean it's coming for me, it just means someone has fired a missile somewhere.
Missile launch detected. Construction
It's gonna happen a lot, get used to it.
Building. Construction complete.
We don't get a warning when the ion cannon is fired.
Building.
We'll just see our base explode. Right on cue.
Building. Unit ready.
Sir, orders received.
Building.
You see the artillery defense coming into play here.
Unit lost.
The lasers, the lasers could literally do 0 damage, I wouldn't care.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
New attack route. When this Tiberium runs out on my island, I am going to be so screwed.
Building.
It's a bit of flat ground to the right. I'm probably going to have to use that because I'm seriously running out of building space.
Construction complete. Building.
Well, if you can't beat them, join them. Unit-wise, my tech is fine, I guess, because I can build artillery and that's all I need. But practically speaking, I want my own super weapons. That's burrowing, I just heard. That's a brand new fear we can learn to enjoy. Why have I got nowhere I can build in this damn place? Fine, whatever.
New construction options. Building. Missile launch detected. Construction complete.
Now I am well aware of how difficult this is going to be, so I am not above.
Building.
That was a Hunter Seeker, and it destroyed an artillery. Okay, that's alright.
Building.
Yes, there's so many threats in this.
Building.
But firstly, I need to be protected against everything,
Building. Construction
which is why we're going to
complete.
pave. Toying with the idea of a stealth generator, but honestly,
Missile launch detected.
I'll explain my worries about the stealth generator, okay? If I get a stealth generator and I cloak half my base, let's say I cloak the lasers at the front, I'm worried that it will change the AI's targeting, because the AI is happy to ion cannon my lasers.
Missile launch
What was that?
detected. Missile launch detected. New construction options. Building.
SAM site, right? I think it was a SAM site. It may have been a far back artillery, it was either or.
Construction complete.
Whatever, extra SAM site won't hurt. Yes, I don't want to end up cloaking parts of my base because it might change where the AI aims its ion cannon. If it just wants to fire at lasers and SAM sites all day, I'm happy, that's fine.
Silos needed.
And I don't want to risk changing that.
Building. Building.
disgust me, because I'm going to build some silos. Maybe, if I can actually find anywhere to place these things.
Building. Construction complete.
I feel like I'm going to need to be cautious with my money.
Construction complete. Building.
It's going to run out, and advancing into the middle of the map is not easy. Challenger arrives.
Unit ready.
I'm going to pile all my artillery over on the right here.
Building.
Basically, I'm going to pile all of my units on the right, I should say, not artillery.
Unit
It's
ready.
just... I don't have much room to work with here. I don't want undeployed artillery out in front of my base defences, so that doesn't make much sense.
Unit ready.
But I am building units now. The idea is that we're going to go and secure mid, if we can. Because I want that Tiberium in mid. Because my stocks are not going to last forever. Tick tanks basically exist to defend the artillery. Artillery exists to kill everything.
Cannot deploy here. New construction options. Building.
Right, I shouldn't skip on the paving. I'm going to need to do it.
Building. 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 Building.
It's so irritating.
Building.
But fine, fine, it could be worse.
Training.
I don't really care for the mutant.
Unit lost.
That was a Hunter Seeker blew up a harvester
Building.
and half blew up another harvester. Right, got it.
Building.
As I was
Missile ready.
As I was saying, I don't really care for the mutant hijacker. He's a bit too fiddly to use.
Unit ready.
I don't know, the battles are all very en masse.
Building.
One tactical unit hopping from vehicle to vehicle doesn't really make the cut.
Building. 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 Construction complete. Building. 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 Unit ready.
I'm happy if this GDI wants to waste all of his money on jump jet infantry.
Building.
They're so easy to kill.
Base under attack.
They're so expensive too.
Building.
Definitely in my favour.
Building. Construction complete. Building. 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 Unit ready. Building. Building.
I don't care if my pavement literally only paves
Building.
one tile. It's worth it.
Unit ready. Building. Construction complete. Building.
I don't want to go too far forwards here. I don't want to block potential Tiberium respawn.
Building.
What is Dark Blue's obsession with my Tiberium?
Building.
I can't believe he just doesn't have any. The spawn locations are somewhat balanced in this game. They're not fantastically balanced, I'll be honest, but they are somewhat balanced. Everyone's got Tiberium, at least.
Building. Construction complete. Building.
What was that?
Missile launch detected.
Artillery, I think.
Building. Construction complete.
The fact that stuff dies so fast when it gets iron cannons.
Building.
I just don't have time to react.
Construction complete.
And then it's really hard to remember what it was in the first place.
Building.
Or maybe I'm just getting old.
Construction
I don't know.
complete.
One of the two.
Building. Missile launch detected. Construction complete.
Hearing missile launch detected all the time is terrifying.
Building. 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 Missile launch detected.
We're all done? Let's expand it, why not?
Building.
As far as we can.
Building.
Doesn't hurt to do extra paving. Ooh,
Building.
close one, close one.
Base under attack. Building. Low power.
That was a power plant destroyed by a hunter seeker. Lovely. Nice to see green GDI there, killing a harvester from someone else. So they are squabbling amongst themselves, that's good.
Construction complete.
Oh, my Tiberium's nearly gone. I have to seek us off, by the way.
Building.
Accidentally clicked on Tiberium waste facility there. It's amazing how it's an option in maps with no Tiberium waste. What are you supposed to do with it?
Building.
Right, well let's try and do something. We got no Tiberium left, we're gonna have to venture onto the map. I can't venture anywhere, can I? What? Leave me alone.
Building. Construction complete.
Yes, I can't go over the ice flow with any of these vehicles, they're all too heavy.
Building.
So I'm gonna need an engineer to repair my bridge.
Unit ready.
Cyborg Commando can walk over the ice flow though. That's a fun unit.
Unit ready.
I do like Cyborg Commando, much more than I like the Ghost Stalker. I think Cyborg Commando is legitimately strong.
Missile launch detected.
Can you imagine if a missile would have just hit my whole army?
Detected.
I'd lose everything. Okay, flying units, that kind of puts an end to this plan. Okay, Commando's main job here is just to scout the other side of the bridge. And then I will send my subterranean APC over to it. Stop it. Okay, it is kind of fun.
Missile launch detected.
There's so many harvesters squabbling over this Tiberium in mid. If I can really set up in mid, then that's going to be an incredibly good position to be in. I could starve so many players out, because everyone's reliant on this same patch of Tiberium. We probably each have one tree in our base. Anyway, let's repair the bridge. We can actually participate.
Unit lost.
Oh. Thanks for that. Please burrow. There's a good chap. You might not have seen that, but it refused to burrow. He wanted to drive. No, I heard that, but I didn't see what it hit. Yes, subterranean APC, it didn't want to burrow, it wanted to drive on the surface, so I sent it somewhere it could only reach by burrowing, and then redirected it.
Training.
Okay, so here's the plan.
Unit
This
ready.
army is going to hold mid.
Unit
Then we are
ready.
going to harvest all of mid, and we're going to starve everyone else off of mid. And I'm going to build some rocket infantry, because
Unit ready.
are they literally the only anti-air that I can build, apart from SAM sites? No, no. Stealth tanks can shoot up as well. That's it. So, rocket infantry other way. Otherwise, jump jet soldiers are just going to kill my army over the course of many decades. Right, well this is the plan. If we can destroy everyone's harvesters,
Missile launch detected.
you know, maybe we're in a good spot. Maybe.
Missile launch detected.
That's what I built the rocket troops for, but it seems that Green isn't interested. Even though I'm literally killing his army. Well, his one tank.
Missile launch detected.
Please stop saying that. There was a missile that just went cruising past the screen. Quite frightening.
Unit ready. Base under attack.
I'm missing a laser.
Building.
Don't know how that happened. Could have been the infantry. Could have been an iron cannon.
Complete.
Could be anything.
Building.
We'll never know.
Construction complete.
Wow,
Building.
that's some reactions this guy's got.
Unable
Good
to
grief, that was
comply.
impressive.
Building in progress. Unit lost. Unit lost.
What is... Oh, it's a Viceroid. An
Unit
adult one that's
lost.
biting me. Everyone, kill it.
Unit
It's a bigger
lost.
threat than anything else in this game right now. Okay, that'll do.
Cannot deploy here.
This is pretty good though.
Training.
I don't think I could ask for much more from a start, to be honest.
Unit
Having this
ready.
level of control over my opponents. Harvesters.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
This is a really, really strong position.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Right, there should be a GDI down here. Hello.
Unit lost.
Well, I mean, I have a target now at
Select
least.
target.
It's not a great target or anything, but it's satisfying, and it costs them money to replace it, if they choose to. It does something.
Unit lost.
That unit loss you just heard, I should explain this. Hunter-Seeker, when you
Building.
use the Hunter-Seeker ability, it spawns a Hunter-Seeker drone that you cannot control, and it goes and hunts and seeks out a random target to kill.
Missile launch detected.
There's probably some AI behind which target it chooses, but I don't know what that is.
Missile launch detected.
Anyway,
Unit
once
ready.
the Hunter-Seeker drone is on the field, it counts as your unit, so when it suicides into an enemy, which is its entire purpose in life, you get the unit lost alert. And it's misleading because you think you're being attacked somewhere, but you're not. It's your
Unit
Hunter-Seeker
ready.
has just fulfilled its job and suicided.
Missile launch detected.
Why the Hunter-Seeker is attributed as your unit and, I don't know, the cluster missile is not, I don't know. It's,
Unit ready.
don't be afraid of that unit lost noise every time you use Hunter-Seeker.
Base under attack. Building.
Please stop doing that.
Unit ready.
I feel like I'm missing a SAM site on the right. I don't think the
Building.
helicopters used to do quite so well against me.
Construction.
I feel like that thing lived longer than it should have.
Unit ready.
But now I've got mid-Tiberium, I don't mind building another harvester, really. Just pickup truck doing.
Insufficient funds.
A little suspicious. Just a little bit.
Unit ready.
Sir? Yes, sir.
Did Green just order its Orca to attack the pickup truck? He just risked the life of his Orca and his pilot. Ignored my entire army. Sniped the pickup truck and then left. You know GDI is supposed to be the good guys, right? I've never seen such dedication to killing innocent civilians. That was impressive.
Unit ready.
Sir? On my way.
Unit lost.
Right. I can heal that guy. I always forget that.
Select target.
Does he need to walk on that Tiberium, or does he just need to stand there? I think he just needs to stand there.
Unit lost.
Something just exploded. That was my army. Okay. Great.
Building.
Fantastic. That was a cluster missile as well, which means that there's a Nod that's got his eye on me now, not just the GDI. So that's good to know.
Unit ready.
I have to try and keep my units somewhat spread up.
Missile launch detected.
Spread up? Spread out. There we go.
Missile launch detected.
What's going on with these harvesters? Why are we dancing?
Building. On hold.
Guys. What was that noise?
Insufficient funds.
I genuinely have no idea what that noise was. Well, let's not worry about that. Seriously, what are these harvesters doing?
Unit ready. Unit lost.
We've got an APC incoming. Always a
Unit
threat.
ready.
Sometimes filled with engineers. Other times filled with disc throwers. Subterranean APCs tend to be filled either with engineers or cyborgs.
Building. Base under attack.
Just going to put some light infantry in front of the lasers. I swear, every time I talk about the damn lasers,
On hold.
they have to go and destroy one of them with an ion cannon. Every time. Anyway, the idea is,
Building.
in the same way that the lasers exist to slow people down for the artillery, the infantry exists to slow people down for the lasers, and by extension the artillery. If I can get a tank firing at infantry, then he's going to be there all day. And the artillery are not the best at killing disc throwers, for example. Whereas disc throwers can deal with the lasers. So just having some light infantry out in front. It's the
Cluster
job
missile
done.
ready.
You weren't just dancing, you weren't even working. And I see what it was now. There was some AI confusion because one harvester was trying to return to work, another harvester was trying to enter the refinery, but the repair vehicle was getting in the way because it wanted to repair one of the harvesters. And so they were all kind of blocking one another. That's satisfying. I did think my funds were a bit low. 2 of my harvesters were out of commission, it seems. Perfect infantry, just in time for my new base defense to show its worth.
Unit ready.
I'd like to point out that I'm about 30 minutes into this match and I've yet to attack anyone. Although my position in mid is very good.
Unit ready.
Make no mistake, that is a fantastic strategic position to hold.
Unit lost.
That's better than attacking any one player, because I'm affecting about 4 players by holding this position. Seriously, who harvest there? I think it's pink, green, yellow and blue. They're trying to harvest there. And me, obviously.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Missile launch detected.
I hate hearing that noise. I gotta learn from my lesson. I can't leave my units just grouped up like this. Well, I mean I can, but if they're on the move, it's fine.
Building.
Oh, very good. Very impressive.
Construction complete. Unit lost. Training. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Not sure where I keep losing these units, to be honest with you.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
It keeps happening though.
Ready. Unit ready. Building.
So back to the reason why I picked Nod. I picked Nod because Nod are, in my opinion, the better faction to play as in this game, for a few reasons. Number 1, we have artillery, which is the best unit in the game, by far. But number 2, we have subterranean APCs, and I am not above cheesing my opponents with engineer-filled subterranean APCs, so look forward to that. But I've got another plan in mind. Mass flame tanks. Now I know flame tanks are kinda useless, but what if, say, 4, 5, 6 flame tanks all unburrow at the same time, right next to a command center?
Unit ready.
Construction yard? Command center? What are they called in this game? Building making building.
Cluster missile ready.
They should be able to burn it down before they die, right? I don't care if the flame tanks die after they've done their job. But if I can destroy a building... Right.
Missile launch detected.
Wow, that actually makes sense.
Unit ready.
The building that builds buildings. Okay. If I can destroy a building, then it will all be worth it, because
Bridge repaired.
if you recall from the previous video, the GDI one, we're looking for permanent damage. Now,
Unit ready.
destroying the building is not permanent damage in this tech level, because you can rebuild your MCV. But if we can take out the building and the war factory, then that is permanent. Each AI will build exactly one war factory, and they will not build any MCVs so long as they still have their construction yard. So if we can hit both of those targets in quick succession on the same attack, then that opponent will slowly bleed out. Damage will start to become permanent against them. And then I can just multi-missile them until there's nothing left.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
And yellow shouldn't have too much. I've killed a lot of his harvesters, a lot of his helicopters, and a lot of his jump jet infantry. Army-wise, he should not have much.
Construction complete.
So if we can just push through these component towers and things. You know what else I'd really like to destroy? I'd like to destroy his
Unit lost.
advanced comm center. That's what it's called in Tiberian Dawn. I assume that's what it's called in this
Unit
game.
lost.
The building that houses the iron cannon and the hunter-seeker
Unit
modules.
lost.
There it is. I would love to destroy that, because I know this is the GDI that keeps iron cannoning me, because it's the nearest one to me, and it's... I mean, you saw how early I got iron cannoned, right? He was the only one that had vision of me at that time.
Cannot deploy here.
That was nearly the most value any bomber has ever achieved in its life. Fortunately, he stopped dropping. Yes, get rid of that damn building.
Unit lost.
Right, I should be safe from his iron cannon for a while.
Unit lost.
That isn't to say... Oh no, the GDI might not start. But anyway, whilst he's busy, the flame tanks are going to go in. I can see he's already rebuilding his advanced comm center, but that's alright. If we can get the construction yard, then that's it. I mean, it's not it, but it's a good start. Perfect, go. Go, my pretties.
Unit lost. Training. Unit ready.
I mean, it's my fault, really.
On hold.
Why did I think flame tanks were capable of doing anything at all, ever? Right, we're going to do engineers in subterranean APCs. We can see our target, it's fine.
Unit ready.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Is that the war factory I see at the bottom? It is.
Training.
Tactics is still the same. Construction yard is
Unit ready.
priority. War factory is secondary.
Building.
And probably iron cannon module is tertiary. What comes after tertiary? Quaternary is the barracks.
Base under attack.
Are you off, Hunter Seeker? I just let him do his thing.
Unit ready.
Right. This is a classic tactic. You've seen this one before. So it's an APC 1 there, 2 there.
Select target.
I think destroying the Vulcan turret is going to help me more than destroying an RPG turret here. The missiles in. I'm not afraid of that disruptor. It does a lot of damage, but it does not do damage fast. And it will start shooting at the APC. It will not retarget. That's fine. Why is he defending his construction yard with 5 harvesters? What is this? Is he going for the crush? This is the best tactic I've ever seen in my life. He's going preemptively for the crush.
Missile launch detected.
Yes, I don't care. I need to focus. Right. Go. 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 Get in. Get in, man.
Insufficient
Good job.
funds. Unit lost.
Bail. Bail out before you die.
Unit lost.
Okay, never mind. Never mind. That's good enough.
Unit ready.
Now, technically speaking, that AI is not out of the game because he can rebuild his MCV from his war factory. But he's very poor. So if he's going to do that, he's not going to do it fast. As you can see, I starved him off of mid so well that he's down to 4 harvesters on 1 tree. Just licking up scraps. I doubt he has 2,500 credits, which I think is the price of an MCV.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
So now I just want to push him in at the front while he's unable to rebuild.
Unit ready.
Is his ally coming to his aid?
Unit ready.
Do you mind? I'm busy here.
Unit ready.
Go away. How's the base looking? Interesting time to counterattack. Very brave. I'm going to bring some rocket troops That bomber did a number on my artillery last time. I don't want that to happen again. I mean, it will happen again. It's unavoidable, but I'll shoot the bomber down in retaliation, and that'll make me feel better.
Under attack. Unit ready.
The champs in mid are just untouched. No one can stop them. Alright, let's begin the advance. This artillery prove that they're not only incredibly good on defense, but also on attack for some reason.
Missile launch detected.
Let's keep him starved. I'd rather just keep him without any money whatsoever.
Harvester under attack.
Yeah, this happens. Usually a harvester goes next to my harvester, and then my artillery aim at it, and a little bit of splash goes onto my harvester. Just sort of chips the paintwork a bit, but Kobold's very diligent. He reports it to me anyway.
Unit ready.
Alright, the slow siege is trucking along nicely.
Cannot deploy here. Unit ready. Cluster missile ready.
He started selling buildings, fantastic.
Select
The bombers are the biggest threat.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Missile launch detected. Harvester under attack.
Great. I think that guy's basically done for at this point.
Unit ready.
He shouldn't have any money left. He's got no MCV. I think all of his harvesters are dead.
Training. Unit ready.
He's selling buildings, which lets him buy a couple of infantry. But okay, he's still got a few harvesters, but they're not going to last.
Unit lost.
One infantry, however, might last a few
Unit
days.
Lost. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready.
It's a thing of beauty. What's anyone ever supposed to do against Nod's artillery? I don't know.
Training.
And Westwood don't know either. That's why they
Unit
nerfed them
ready.
in the expansion.
Building. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Just mixing in a few cyborgs now. The main threat to my
Insufficient funds.
Tic-tank artillery unstoppable force, that backed up by anti-air rocket troops, is infantry. If they come at me with nothing but disc throwers, it might be a problem, because the artillery just can't kill them very well. And obviously neither can the rocket troops or the Tic-tanks. So, you know, if I mix in a couple of cyborgs on the front lines to handle infantry,
Unit lost.
should be a good
Missile launch detected.
good composition.
Unit ready.
That's my thoughts process anyway. How many harvesters does this man have?
Unit ready.
Whatever, progress.
Cannot deploy.
Every building we destroy is one fewer buildings left in the game.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Ready.
Training.
I love the fact that this force is just... Not only are they still going, have there even been any losses? I think maybe there's been a Tic-tank or two.
Cluster missile
That's
ready.
about it. They're so resilient.
Unit ready. Missile launch detected.
Alright, let's advance.
Unit ready.
Yellow doesn't even have money left to repair.
Cannot
He's
deploy
done for.
yet. Unit ready.
That's a good feeling. But now the bodyguards have arrived as well. You know what, I'm going to kill this thing. I don't need any more multi-missiles on yellow. Not that destroying that obelisk is going to do me any favours, but it will waste some of Pink's money rebuilding it. And like I say, I don't need to hit yellow anymore. And it's the only other thing I can see on the map, so that'll do.
Building.
It's so
Unit
satisfying.
ready.
You think how many times this guy's iron cannoned me? He thought he was being so clever. Attacking me with aircraft early on in the game, before I had my anti-air set up.
Unit ready.
He's not feeling so smug now, is he?
Missile launch detected.
I hope my base is doing okay. I haven't looked at it for a while. It's probably fine.
Unit ready.
Oh, where did you get this one from? That's a fancy looking tank.
Unit
That's the end of
lost.
that. I don't know why I'm talking trash to this guy like he can hear me. But that's what you get for messing with me.
Unit
You could have had a nice happy fight with one of your fellow AI. My reserve army is getting kind of big. I like that.
Training.
I heard an iron cannon, but I don't see it. Because it wasn't fired by you, was it, Yellow? Oh, he had a bomber left.
Unit ready.
That's disappointing.
Unit lost.
I think that bomber killed all of my anti-air.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Talk about getting countered by your counter.
Unit ready. Base under attack.
Alright, I've had enough of this. Destroy the helipad.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Insufficient funds. Missile launch detected.
Right, it's more like it.
Unit lost.
Alright, lads.
Unit ready.
Ah, interesting. Pink has not rebuilt his obelisk. I guess that means he's also low on money. Which would make sense. I've been starving his harvesters out of mid for 50 minutes. Not that long. 30 minutes.
Cluster missile ready.
I mean, I can see something. It's a power plant. May as well hit it. Right, defensive squad. How you doing? Oh, I didn't say this explicitly, but I built a stealth tank. Take a wild guess what I'm going to do with that.
Unit lost.
Right. The bridges are out. All the bridges are out, I remember. I remember the gimmick of this map.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Yeah, the stealth tank is just there to explore. He's not much of a combat unit, but I need more things to multi-missile. Because yellow just not worth it anymore. That's it, you repair. I'm going to stay in this game. Time to pick a bridge, I guess. We've got such a powerful army, we should be alright no matter where we go.
Building. Missile launch detected. Unit ready.
That sounded like it hit me.
Unit ready.
I'm not sure. Well, whatever. What are we up against? And who are we up against? I don't know who's over which bridge. Is this pink?
Unit ready.
Enemies being set up on the other side of the bridge is the most frightening thing that can happen. Seems there was already a fight here. Okay, this is pink. This might explain why pink isn't rebuilding his obelisk if somebody else has already taken a pop at him.
Unit ready.
When I say taking a pop at him, I mean absolutely wiped him off the face of the map. Pink's barely alive. Oh, nice to see the AI actually fighting one another for a change. That won't last. They will ally against me, as they always do at some point.
Cannot deploy here.
And since my last video, I've learnt the technical term for that, but I've forgotten it.
Unit ready.
Oh no, not useful. Oh, no, Realm Divide, I think it was called.
Missile launch detected.
Yes, apparently it's an actual inbuilt mechanic, and it's not just some weird AI quirk. But when the AI thinks you're getting too strong in order to keep the challenge alive, the AI deliberately
Training.
ally against you, and it's called Realm Divide.
Unit ready.
My viewers have got all the info.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
But just someone who really hammered
Unit
pink.
ready.
You notice he hasn't got his construction yard or his
Unit
war factory.
lost.
So somebody already inflicted the permanent blow onto him.
Unit ready.
There's a mercy killing at this point. You may have noticed I'm building mass flame tanks on the side and trying not to draw attention to it. I'm going to give them a chance to redeem themselves.
Unit ready.
Next construction yard we find. I decided the strategy is solid. It's the numbers that were letting me down. 5 was not enough. Maybe if I send, I don't know, 12. Maybe they can destroy one building. Their powers combined.
Select target. Unit ready. Training.
Take that. 1 artillery
Unit
from an
ready.
already dead player. That was a worthwhile kill.
Unit ready.
It feels weird for a player to be defeated and it be nothing to do with me.
Unit ready.
But I'll take it. Thanks for the help.
Unit ready.
Someone else really hates pink.
Player 1 was defeated. Unit ready.
I mean, what did you just iron cannon? Was that literally 1 light infantry? How are you still alive, Yellow? I see, so this 1 harvester is giving him enough funds to
Missile launch
infinitely
detected.
repair. Frustrating. Is there a way from Pink's base into the top right corner?
Unit lost.
What happened here? That is a cluster missile aimed at my infantry that also splashed onto my power plant. I don't know how many infantry I had, but it looks like I lost a lot. Anyway, top right's going to be over this bridge, so we'll repair that. Disappointing. Disappointing.
Building. Building. Bridge repaired.
I'm going to get a helipad for scouting reasons more than anything else. It's kind of bizarre, but
Unit ready.
my idea is I can just fly it off into the fog without having to repair bridges everywhere I go. I just need targets for my multi-missile, really. Alright, Blue, what do you got beside dead harvesters?
Unit
I've been
ready.
killing since day
Cannot
dot.
deploy here. Unit lost.
Defense is set up on the other side of what was a broken bridge.
Cannot deploy
That's some
here.
foresight. It's very, very annoying.
Unit lost.
Guys, I'm gonna need you to actually deploy it at some point.
Unit lost.
Guys.
Unit lost.
Don't destroy the bridge either, that's not gonna go too well for me. How about we crush?
Unit lost.
Artillery can crush. Which is also surprising to me, but in my mind I see artillery as light. And they're not, they're a heavy unit in this game.
Cannot deploy.
So even artillery can crush, which is good. Right, we're over. Now blue shouldn't have too much because his harvesters have been dying left, right and centre. So now that I'm in, that should be the end of blue, really.
New construction options.
One scout.
Cluster
Thanks for that.
ready. Building. Training. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready.
I'm sure there must be some hotkey in this game that forces all of my units to just attack buildings. I know some of the later games have it. It's a sort of fire at will option.
Unit lost.
Because by default, of course, the units will only target other units.
Unit ready.
Which is the stronger option defensively. That means I need to click a lot to kill.
Missile launch detected. Unit lost.
That's alright, I'm not in a rush to kill blue.
Unit lost.
He's done for. It's guaranteed by this point.
Cannot deploy.
And I've already found both of my targets.
Cannot deploy here.
That's pretty good then. So that's what, 3 opponents down, I'd say? Technically, yellow GDI is still in the game in the bottom right, but he's basically out.
Unit lost.
He's remarkably resilient, this guy. Whatever, he can't do anything, so I guess it's fine. Alright, let's go scouting. We need to find someone else. My multi-missiles are ready, and they need a target. So my idea with this is that if I fly close to a SAM site, or a component tower SAM head,
Player 1 was defeated.
it will reveal itself, and then I can bomb it with missiles.
Unit lost.
My plan is not happening. I'm actually losing units in mid.
Unit ready.
Who would have thought? Let's go reinforce that quickly. Every time I look at my base,
Building. Construction
it's like they wait
Unit lost.
until I'm looking, just so they can really rub it in.
Building.
It's sick. Yeah, I'm abandoning the scout with aircraft plan, by the way. It's that was a bad one. Sometimes we make mistakes, alright?
Unit ready.
Rather than try and make it work, let's just accept that was a terrible idea, and let's scout with stealth tanks instead. You know, that's 2 different GDIs.
Unit ready.
Iron Cannon doesn't charge that fast.
Building.
Good lord, I hope that means they have an allied against me.
Construction complete.
I hope this is enough flame tanks to actually do something. I mean, look at them. They're beautiful. Well, they're not. They're disgusting, but
Unit lost.
they have a chance.
Missile launch detected. Unit ready.
Oh, right, so I need an engineer.
Training. Unit lost.
I also need an army.
Unit ready.
I have a feeling they've allied against me because that's 2 ion cannons and a multi-missile that have been aimed directly at me. Whereas earlier, we know for sure earlier they were firing at one another. We heard so many missile launches that never hit us. No, it's not a guarantee they've allied yet, but it's not looking good that the last 3 super weapons came my way.
Unit ready.
Where are you going? Okay, fine. I'm used to rebuilding lasers, I can handle this.
Bridge
In
repair.
the grand scheme of things, I'd rather it hit a laser than any unit. Well, hello, Green. You put me in a bit of a... Squash my guys. He puts me in a bit of a conundrum there. I want to kill his harvester, but I don't want to blow up the bridge. Missile launch detected.
Training. Base under attack.
That missile came to me as well. Okay, all 4 of them have used super weapons against me. So I think we're currently playing a 1v4. Don't blow up the bridge, I need that. Come on, just kill it fast. Okay, and we can bomb that harvester from up here as well, that's pretty good. Bridge is long gone.
Subterranean unit.
Okay, alright, everyone's allied against me. Here we go then.
Unit detected.
It's like there's 2 phases to these missions.
Unit ready.
But... Oh.
Building.
Okay, there's almost too much to explain. So, the ion cannons have been destroying my SAM sites throughout my base. Because my SAM sites existed a long time ago, when I paved over my base, I didn't pave over the SAM sites because it doesn't put pavement under your buildings that already exist. So when the SAM sites get ion cannoned, there's no pavement underneath them, and so it leaves a hole in my base. What the hell is that? Okay. So if I don't notice the SAM site's been destroyed, I've got a hole in my pavement, which means that subterranean units become a threat.
Building.
I'm just gonna double check this in my head. There's 5 teams left, right? Yeah, there's 5 teams left. One of them
Missile launch
is the
detected.
incredibly crippled yellow in the bottom right.
Ready.
Oh,
Unit lost.
well, this is it. Now, as I think I started to say, there's 2 parts to this level. The first part is setup,
Unit
trying to
ready.
survive the early game and get your base going,
Bridge
which is not
repaired.
easy. But went very smoothly, securing another Tiberian patch this game. But the real meat of the game is when everyone allies against you. This is why tech level 10 is so difficult. Because now I'm fighting against 4 super weapons.
Unit lost. Cannot deploy here.
Technically I'm fighting against 8 super weapons because there's Hunter Seekers as well.
Harvester under attack. Unit ready.
Don't insult me with that. Right, what have we got? Red.
Unit ready.
Okay, well we can reach some of Red's harvesters from here. Maybe we just entrench and starve him a bit. It's not a bad plan.
Missile launch detected.
Although I feel like I'm somewhat on the... Oh, right. Oh. Okay, entrenching isn't going to work anymore.
Unit lost.
That was a multi-missile, right? It really wipes out your army. Slow play isn't going to work. I need to knock out some of these super weapons really fast.
Cannot deploy here.
Where's the base?
On my way.
Building.
Oh, another bridge. Okay.
Yes, sir.
This isn't
Proceed.
the island with the base on it. This is another
Unit sensor. Yes, sir.
mid-island. Like the one that I claimed with all the Tiberium right at the start. This is the...
Unit
I took
ready.
over middle right. This is middle left. It was just a source of Tiberium that Reds feasted upon. So Red's actual island is probably over the broken bridge to the left. And then the road on the top of your screen probably goes to a base in the top left corner.
Unit ready.
On my way. Awaiting orders.
Right, Cyborg Commando, despite his incredible mass, can actually walk over the ice flows. So we'll go investigate down here. Which should be a player.
Unit
Yeah, it
ready.
should be a player. Over every ice flow there's a player. And there's also a broken bridge that leads to the same base.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Are you trying to save yellow?
Unit ready.
He's not even worth your time. Leave him.
Unit ready. Yes, sir. Moving out. Sir, yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir.
Good lord, I can't even
Missile launch detected.
just... Why am I even bothering with this guy? Just kill him. Where's the missile launch coming? Oh, great.
Base under attack. Building.
It's more important than ever that I replace the lasers.
On my way.
I'll
Construction
focus on that laser upkeep. There's so many super weapons coming for me. I gotta keep giving them targets or they're gonna start to hit things that actually matter.
Building.
I don't care that those lasers are never gonna fire in their life.
Construction complete.
What even was that?
Building.
As a
Unit
SAM site,
ready.
right?
Unit ready.
Yeah, I think it was.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
I just kill something, Hunter Seeker, I don't care what you kill. Okay, I need some anti-air for my attack as well. I mean, Stealth Tank is anti-air, I guess. But he's not anti-air when there's a disruptor around. What have we got over here then?
Unit lost.
Waiting. Yes, sir. Received. Yes, sir. Ready for action. Reporting. Yes, sir. Unit line. Unit ready.
Cannot deploy here.
Sir, standing by.
Cannot deploy here.
Yes, sir. Unit line. Unit yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Unit replying. Waiting orders. Waiting flight.
This choice of map is coming back to bite me now. It's very defensive.
Missile launch detected.
Oh. It's very defensive at the start because of the broken bridges, meaning only light units can actually attack you.
Cannot deploy here. Unit
Oh my
lost.
army. But now it's really hard for me to get anywhere and move around. And all of the enemy bases are really well protected in the same way that mine was at the start. I remember when I had an attack force, that was nice. Or maybe this guy can do some good. This is a broken bridge,
Unit
right?
ready.
Yes it is, okay. So that's 3 bases then, over these 3 broken bridges. There's going to be a base down here. I've crossed an ice flow, there's a broken bridge that leads to it. There's going to be a base.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
Let's just ignore the unit lost all over the place. It's never ending. And there was a battle here.
Unit ready.
So at some point in this game... Oh, probably should control that a little better.
Unit lost.
At some point in this game's life, somebody attacked
Base
green
under attack.
before they formed an alliance.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Still, that's basically a target. It's the first base I found in a long time. It's time for the flame tank
Missile
redemption
launch
arc.
detected.
They have to find...
Unit ready.
Stop it. They have to
Building.
find
Unit lost.
the construction yard.
Unable to comply. Building in progress.
Yes, sir.
Building.
So a little extra work with the flame tanks, but I'm sure they can do it. Let's focus. Just a little focus. Let's not go crazy with the focus, but you know, a little focus. Doesn't hurt anyone. Alright, where is it?
Unit lost.
Sir? Yes, sir.
Unit lost. Unit
I wouldn't mind
lost.
taking out the iron cannon. That seems reasonable.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit
Guys.
lost.
Please,
Unit lost.
kill something. Anything.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
They are so useless.
Unit lost.
They are
Construction
so
complete.
unbelievably
Unit lost.
useless. By the way, I don't know when that got destroyed, but that's been missing for quite some time.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Building.
I just don't know how that got destroyed.
Construction
Also don't know why we're just
complete.
letting those guys walk past me. But we'll put an end to that, I suppose. I feel like I'm missing loads of lasers. I usually have 4.
Construction complete.
Okay, so that attack failed in every conceivable way.
Training.
Now for a more reliable attack method.
Building.
I found the construction yard. That's the only saving grace of that attack. Apart from that, it was utter failure. I didn't prevent the iron cannon, didn't prevent the hunter seeker, didn't destroy any production, didn't do any economic damage, didn't hit the construction yard. It could not have gone worse. And yet it's still the best attack I've ever done with flame tanks. I'm saving my multi-missile, by the way. I'll use it in the attack. When I say attack, I mean
Missile launch detected.
the APC attack. The real attack. Right, let's do it.
Unit ready.
No more playing around.
Select target.
That's probably the most irritating one. I have faith that I can hit that conyard with just one
Unit
engineer.
lost. Unit ready.
My faith may be misplaced,
Insufficient funds.
but I have faith. I don't see a war factory. I suspect that his war factory was destroyed when he was fighting with someone earlier, and that for some reason he hasn't rebuilt it. Oh no!
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Anyway, let's focus on this. If I can hit both of these targets, and then I'm right that there's no war factory, this guy is much less of a threat. Please, 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 go bait some shots.
Unit lost.
Oh. Change of plan, change of plan.
Unit ready.
Okay, we got that, we got that.
Building.
That'll do.
captured.
Progress. So here's my analysis on what happened to Green. He was fighting with someone, let's say red, no idea, but let's say red.
Building.
Red destroyed his war factory. Green built base defenses on top of where his war factory goes in order to repel the attack.
Construction complete.
And now he refuses to rebuild his war factory because he can't put it where he wants. AI just get sort of stuck like that sometimes. And now he's lost his construction yard, so he can't build it at all. He can't build anything. Not convinced the AI would actually build an MCV
Building.
and replace that construction yard. But theoretically they could,
Missile launch
and I don't want to take
detected.
the chance of them doing that.
Construction complete.
But luckily for me, I don't need to. What are you doing?
Unit lost.
Why are my people always getting vaporized? Its attack force has shrunk somewhat. Whatever, just keep attacking. This base doesn't matter.
Training.
I'm taking out that iron cannon.
Unit ready.
Although, saying that,
Unit ready.
I'm not sure what to do here. I have so many tanks.
Unit ready.
I was gonna just engineer attack it again, but
Unit lost.
I don't know. I got so many tanks. Let's just go hit somewhere.
Unit ready.
Green is crippled. He's
Cannot
crippled in
deploy.
an annoying way where he can. Let's see, what can he do?
Unit
He can
ready.
harvest Tiberium. He can build aircraft. He can build infantry,
Base
and he still
under
has super
attack.
weapons.
Training.
So he's still quite a threat. But what colour is that? Orange. But like red or orange are still 100% fully functional. So and red seems to have an entire fleet of harvesters. So maybe we should hit someone else and cripple them. Green became a lot less of a threat now I know he doesn't have a war factory. And I can just
Unit ready.
blow him up over time, I suppose, with Hunter Seekers and missiles,
Unit lost.
depending on how the mood takes me.
Unit lost.
Right, who lives over here? Why are you still repairing yellow? Just accept defeat.
Unit ready.
Okay, been pushed off of mid. Great, great. Great, great.
Building.
Engineers. Please kill them,
Unit ready.
please.
Construction complete.
Well, that was closer than I liked. Okay, we're not having this again. Kill it.
Unit ready.
Okay, that's better.
Unit lost. Building.
I swear I had a SAM site over here at one point in my life.
Insufficient.
In fact, do I have any SAM sites left in my base?
Construction complete.
I'm missing about 4 SAM sites and
Building.
3
Missile launch
lasers.
detected.
Missile launch. Oh, move.
Construction
Move in case it's on you guys.
Unit lost. Harvester under attack.
Oh, now everyone's just
Unit
angry at
lost.
me.
Building. Missile launch detected.
It never ends.
Construction complete.
There's a lot of disc throwers.
Cannot deploy here.
Alright, let's stop him. No, wait, let's not. I don't want to blow up the bridge. Let's crush him, I think is probably better. Satisfying.
Training. Unit ready. Select target.
I mean, does it matter? Tell you what, I'm gonna target the stuff around the advanced comm center. And Vulcan turrets are realistically the bigger threat to it. Engineers.
Unit ready.
I'm gonna capture that thing. I can't. I need to reduce the number of super weapons that are shooting at me.
Building.
I can't even keep the lasers alive.
Unit ready.
Hello, Hunter
Construction
Seeker.
complete.
There goes a silo.
Base under attack. Unit lost. Unit ready.
There goes a SAM site.
Building.
How much money have I spent rebuilding these things?
Unit lost.
Oh, please let this attack do something. Alright, who lives over this bridge?
Building.
I could position here and try to snipe harvesters, but I'm just going to get multi-missiled if I do that. Let's actually press in.
Unit ready.
Yeah, bombers is not a good start. The other side of there's no RPG over here though, so let's get set up. Oh, bombers is very annoying.
Unit ready.
Quickly, lads, let's see some ploying. We got the cyborg commander. He'll do some damage, some real damage. My whole army will eventually die to these jump jet infantry, by the way, but they're not going to kill it fast, so I can do some damage.
Harvester under attack.
Now the problem we got here is that I can destroy these base defenses nice and slowly with the artillery, but they're just going to get rebuilt. Why is there purple lines everywhere?
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Just ignore that.
Unit lost.
I need to find something more impactful to destroy.
Unit lost. Missile launch
Okay, I
detected.
got absolutely nowhere. This is the problem. When they have a construction yard, it doesn't matter. If I knock on the front door with artillery,
Unable to
it's a slow
comply,
push.
building in progress.
And a slow push of deployed
Unit lost.
artillery doesn't do well against bombers, multi-missiles and iron cannons. Now I don't think iron cannons generally target the units, they tend to go for the buildings, but the multi-missiles definitely target me, and the bombers definitely target me, and the jump jet infantry will eventually kill me. Oh,
Unit lost.
oh yeah, there's hunter seekers too. Okay, I need to just.
Building.
I'm going for green. Right, I'm going to take out that advanced comm center that green has. That would disable one iron cannon and one hunter seeker, and then I'll be left against
Cluster
one
missile
iron
ready.
cannon,
Unit
2
ready.
cluster missiles, and 3 hunter seekers will be left,
Unit ready.
which is
Insufficient
still
funds.
terrifying, but you know, it's less terrifying. Are you guarding it? Are you seriously sending infantry there to guard it? Where is it? Where's my subterranean? Okay. He's sending more infantry to guard it. What is this? How does he know? There's no safe spot. Okay, okay. Here's the plan. The units will target the APC. Yep.
Building captured.
Take that. Get rid of your stupid super weapons. It's only fair when I have them. Can we be clear about this?
Unit ready.
Everyone having super weapons is fine, but everyone using them
Unit
in a
lost.
coordinated attack against me is ridiculous.
Building. Unit ready. Building.
How do I on my subterranean APCs navigate their way out the base? By finding somewhere to burrow.
Construction complete. Building.
Comes the SAM site.
Construction
Have that
complete.
back.
Building.
Missing one laser at the front. As is tradition.
Construction complete.
We'll build an extra laser. I mean, why not? It's going to get blown up soon
Missile
enough.
launch detected.
Missile launch. Let's just fan out a bit. Just in case. Here it comes. Alright, there goes 2 of my lasers.
Building.
And the legs of my cyborg.
Construction complete. Missile launch detected. Unable to comply. Building in progress. Construction complete.
Oh, it's never ending. I never get a break.
Harvester under attack.
I lost that. I lost like a power plant and 2 artillery. I need to keep my base defense strong. I think I lost a SAM site as well. Oh, yeah, I always have a SAM site at the bottom. Just in case Yellow remembers he has a helipad.
Building. Construction
That's a-
complete. Unit
I was going to say a big army, but it's actually not. But it's still units.
Unit
How
ready.
do you still have so much money left for repairs? Stop it! Just die!
Unit ready. Cluster missile ready. Unit lost.
Oh, I despair.
Unit ready.
I don't know.
Insufficient funds.
There.
Subterranean unit detected.
That'll do. Something used to be there.
Subterranean unit detected.
That's a lot of subterranean units. Okay, thank. Ooh! That could have been a close one. If that was APCs, I think we were done for. Fortunately, Purple made the same mistake I did. Thought the flame tanks are actually units. Instead, they're just clowns. Made for entertainment.
Construction complete.
Nice to know they're coordinating their attacks at the same time, though.
Unit ready.
That's great.
Building. Select target.
I don't know. Barracks?
Construction complete.
Yeah, no, it's definitely barracks.
Unit
Definitely barracks. He can't rebuild any buildings. The only thing... He doesn't have a war factory. The only thing he can spend his money on is
ready.
infantry.
Unit lost.
And bombers, but the AI will never build... Sorry, he can't build bombers. He doesn't have his advanced comm center. He can build Orca fighters. But the AI won't do that, because his
New
helipads are
construction
occupied.
options. Building.
So now he'll just stockpile money forever and not actually use it.
Building. Construction complete.
Yeah, we got to abuse the AI a bit.
Missile launch detected.
I almost don't even want to watch the missile launches anymore.
Unit lost. Building.
Awaiting orders. Orders received.
It's just so sad.
Unit
Thanks.
ready. Building. Construction complete. Harvester under attack. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Someone should really keep track of how much money I've spent on lasers
Unit ready.
and SAM sites.
Building.
It's a
Building.
good thing I have control of 3/4 of the map's worth of Tiberium.
Construction complete. Building. Construction
What even was that? I can't remember. How's my
building.
memory's just useless. I mean, I notice now it's a war factory. I notice my production on the right is somewhat absent.
Loud and clear. Moving out. Affirmative.
But at the time that shot came down, I didn't know what was missing.
Unit lost.
Also, it's left a massive crater in my base, so I can't build it in the same place. It's going to throw off all the feng shui.
Away we go. Sir. No problem.
Construction complete.
Loud and clear. Moving out. Moving out. Loud and clear.
Unit lost.
Moving out. Awaiting orders. Sorry.
Cannot deploy here. New construction options. Building.
Waiting orders out.
Unit lost.
My way.
I have no idea why my harvesters just get stuck like that. Last time I explained it away as being something to do with
Select target.
a repair vehicle, mobile repair vehicle. Screwing up the AI. This time there's nothing there. They just got confused
Processing.
randomly.
Base under attack.
Base? Oh, okay.
Unit
That's
lost.
an attack I can repel. It's like a laser, I see.
Construction complete. Missile launch detected. Subterranean unit
That missile.
detected.
Oh, that's quite frightening.
Subterranean unit
Flame tanks, please.
detected.
Okay. Whew.
Training.
You know, you worry for a second, and then when you see the tongues come out, it's that relief that hits you.
Missile launch detected.
By the way, that cluster missile that we saw flying by a moment ago, that was aimed at my army. That I just moved out by chance.
Unit ready.
There's nothing else that was aimed at. That one was aimed at the base. But
Building.
okay, you don't like my lasers, I get it.
Construction complete.
But the previous one was aimed at my army. You could tell by the angle it was travelling at. There was nothing else in line
Construction complete.
that it was flying towards. It must have been my army.
Insufficient funds.
Is this going to come down to me dodging cluster missiles? Thanks. I appreciate you destroying that artillery. That was great. We
Building.
just pave over that. Okay, I have the counter to this. I'm going to try and kill this away from the bridge if I can. Otherwise it's just going to waste my time.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
To be fair, it did better than the flame tanks.
Unit lost.
Right, that bridge is still functioning. That was good enough for me.
Unit ready.
I've seen worse looking roads in Britain.
Unit ready. Building.
I really wish you wouldn't do that.
Building. Subterranean unit detected.
Alright, come on, bring your flames.
Subterranean unit detected. Cluster missile ready.
Hang on now, I'm fine because I've got the cyborg commander who'll kill everything. But was that part of the plan?
Target.
Did they react to the Hunter Seeker blowing a hole in my base, therefore giving an unpaved area? That's kind of incredible.
Cannot deploy here.
Right, take that, you stupid bombers. Now then, can I reach you from this side?
Unit lost.
That'd be quite satisfying if I could. A new challenger arrives, it seems.
Missile launch detected.
My refinery.
Building. Unit lost.
What is this? I'll fix that later. What happened to my army?
Insufficient funds.
Didn't I have an army here? You know what? You know what?
Missile
Screw
launch
you and your
detected.
straightforward, standard, intended attack paths.
Unit lost.
I'm bringing out the quad APCs. I built these in advance because I knew I'd need them at some point. And instead I'm just going to use them all on one coordinated attack. I will find something. Just when I had units there. Who's empty? You. Okay. No more messing around. You've had your fun, now I have my fun.
Unit
I'm
lost.
using 4 hotkeys. It's just dawned on me that both of my targets are inside. I knew the construction yard was there. But that's the war factory.
Unit
Both
ready.
of my key targets
Building.
are visible.
Unit ready. Unit
You're done
ready.
for, Red.
Unit
Should we use the slow down strats? They're pretty powerful.
Unit ready.
I really want this attack to succeed, okay? Don't judge me. Alright, let's do it. Oh, I had no idea that was there.
Unit
Wow.
lost.
How on earth did I get that engineer out in time? I've no idea.
Unit lost.
Get it, get it. Just get the construction yard. Anything else is
Unit
just
lost.
vanity.
Building captured. Building captured.
Okay, great. Permanent damage.
Unit lost.
That's what we live for.
Structure sold.
I had no idea what that other building was. If I'd known it was the advanced comm center, maybe I would have focused it a bit more, but that's good.
Unit lost.
That's when my base used to be more dense than this.
Unit
Every time I
ready.
look at my base, I'm missing stuff and I can't figure out what.
Building.
Power looks dangerously near the line.
Construction complete. Unit ready. Cluster missile ready. Building. Building.
Yes, thank you for that.
Building.
You must be joking. Did that Hunter Seeker just one-shot my construction?
Missile launch
I
detected.
can't rebuild my MCV.
Training. Select target.
I lost my tech
Base
center.
under attack.
I lost my tech
Training.
center. I never realized. Oh dear.
Missile launch detected.
I lost my tech center and I never realized.
Unit ready.
So now I can't rebuild my MCV even though I've got a war factory. And that means now any...
Unit lost.
Oh god, so now...
Unit lost.
Every time a super weapon destroys a laser or a SAM site, it's just gone forever. And those were basically my bait. Once I run out of bait, they're just going to start destroying my base. Okay, I am on some massive, massive clock now. I cannot sit back at all.
Building.
This is so bad.
Unit ready.
I can still build artillery, so I think I can repel any amount of ground attack. I can build rocket infantry to fend off air.
Unit ready.
Units don't scare me still. I need to take out the super weapons.
Unit
Remaining in
lost.
this game is red super weapon,
Subterranean
top
unit
left
detected.
and
Unit
bottom
lost.
left.
Subterranean unit detected.
I don't care about your subterranean units. I'm dealing with this. Right.
Unit
I'll take your
ready.
barracks as well.
Building captured. New construction options.
You can't do anything.
Unit
How does it feel?
Structure sold. Structure sold. Unit lost.
Great.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Okay. So long as the Hunter Seekers target units, I don't care. Units are replaceable. Buildings are not.
Unit ready.
Yes, yes, you've got some flame tanks. We're very proud of you.
Unit
Get out of here.
lost.
Don't waste my time. If Purple wants to waste all of his money on flame tanks, that's pretty good for me. You know what, why don't you just go and repair that? I need to attack, and I need to go fast.
Unit ready.
Red can't do anything. I mean, maybe he's got a helipad left, but I don't care.
Sir? Yes, sir?
Do I have any SAMs? Oh, there we go. I lost my front SAM sites, but we still got the back ones.
Unit reporting. Yes,
Unit ready. Harvester under attack. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Unit ready. Moving out.
We're going to have to do
Unit
some
ready.
impressive attack. Very fast.
Missile launch detected.
Orders received. Yes, sir.
Just move in case it's aimed at the army.
Unit reporting.
Cluster missile
Which it was, kind of. Not really.
On my way.
It was more aimed at the war factory. Okay, a cluster missile cannot destroy a war factory.
ready. Missile launch detected.
I don't know. Just target something. I really don't care. Green isn't in this game anymore, let's be honest.
Harvester under attack.
Processing.
Harvester under attack.
Do you really have to, dude?
Unit ready.
Something's not right.
Harvester under attack.
I'm missing
Unit
something.
Ready. Unit ready.
I'm missing my missile silo. Oh, okay.
Unit ready.
So I still have my Temple of Nod, which means I still have my Hunter Seeker, but I don't have my cluster missiles anymore. Fantastic.
Harvester under attack.
You know, it's getting harder to stay upbeat, I'm not gonna lie. You cheeky swine. Yeah, he's not doing anything. It's just helipads. This guy is also just helipads. But, I mean, we see what the helipad attacks look like, they're not frightening.
Cannot deploy here.
The bigger threat is if he uses the helipads to bomb my army as it's attacking orange, I guess.
Cannot
Must be up
deploy
there.
here.
Which
Unit
means
lost.
purple is bottom left. Mr. Flame Tank.
Cannot deploy here. Base under attack.
Alright, hang on. There's only 2 functional enemies left.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
The Hunter Seeker's terrifying.
Unit ready.
That is so annoying. I'm not sure there is a more annoying structure you could target. But fine,
Unit
I
lost.
don't need a damn radar.
Unit ready. Missile launch
These
detected.
units that are coming from red are the last of his units. He can't build anything else. My army.
Cannot deploy.
He can't build anything, so these are just the dregs he had floating around in his
Cannot
base.
deploy here.
Oh, we're all gonna die. Can I at least see what's over here?
Missile launch detected.
Please stop. Oh,
Yes, sir. On my way. Unit ready.
what do you have? You got some
Cannot deploy
artillery.
here.
Waiting. Yes, sir.
You got a stealth
Cannot deploy
stealth
here.
generator, I see.
Unit ready.
You're not that well armed.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready. Cannot deploy here. Unit ready. Training. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Huh. I see a missile silo and I see it's protected by an obelisk.
Cannot deploy here.
Kind of irritating, but I can artillery it, I guess. I can't send my commando over there. Commando, just defend the artillery. Artillery, take out the super weapon. Not that it's going to do anything, it'll just get rebuilt. Although if I look
Building.
upright, there's been a big fight here. Orange got whacked at some point. Okay. Both the super weapons. Okay. But the Seeker's gone.
Unit ready.
Definitely has a construction yard. Haven't found the construction yard yet, though. We have found his war factory. Come on, live, man, live!
Unit ready.
It's time to dig deep. Destroy that, at least. We're going to do him some serious damage. Nothing else.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
Alright, I think I can kill this guy
Unit
with a small
lost.
attack force. He has not got much.
Training.
He's got some helicopters, which we can fight back against.
Unit ready. On
He's got
hold.
barely any units.
Training.
On a 5 artillery with some infantry in front of them. We'll probably conquer that base so long as it doesn't get cluster missiled.
Unit ready.
That's more than 5 artillery. That'll do. We'll bring a cyborg commando. I'm very fortunate that my Temple of Nod is still alive. I don't know if buildings live, but they took out my missile silo, which is frustrating.
Unit
The Temple
ready.
of Nod is both the Hunter Seeker and the tech structure that lets me build cyborg commandos. And mutant hijackers, but meh. If I'd lost the temple, I wouldn't have cyborg commandos.
Missile launch
Life would be a lot
detected.
harder.
Unit lost. Base.
I mean, losing a laser at this point is... it's not a big deal. Considering that thing could have targeted my barracks.
Missile launch detected. Unit ready.
That's fine. I can't pave over the gaps anymore either.
Training.
Purple goes for another subterranean attack. It can
Unit
actually be
ready.
quite bad. I'm going to need to leave some
Unit
deployed artillery here.
ready. Unit ready.
I feel like all these crippled shells I'm just leaving around the map.
Harvester under attack.
Why did I attack that? I don't want to attack that. I've got way more important things to deal with than that. I don't want to get crushed by this harvester.
Training.
I need my anti-air.
Unit ready. Harvester under attack. Insufficient funds.
Not sure what happened here. Did you notice I'm missing a refinery though?
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit ready. Cancelled. Unit
Oh
ready.
no, it's the flame tanks. I'm a skeleton of a base, they still don't phase me. By the way, I can't build any more subterranean APCs for my favourite attack path.
Unit ready.
I believe, but I'm not certain, it's the radar that lets me build those. You need something in addition to a war factory to build subterranean APCs. I think it's a radar dish.
Cannot deploy here. Unit ready. Cannot deploy here.
Right. You are gonna die. Let me just turn off this stealth generator because it's
Cannot deploy
irritating.
here.
Great. Now, you have a couple of super weapons that I would very much like you to stop using.
Base under attack.
Yes, my base is always under attack. Navigating back to my base has become so difficult. I'm using right-click navigation, which is something you never see me do.
On hold.
Right-click navigation lets me essentially scroll the well, not scroll the screen, drag the screen, rather than go to the edge of the screen and scroll it with just mouse movement.
Missile launch detected.
Get in there, man. You've got a job to do. Destroy this whole base. It's just me on my anti-air, not being anti-air.
Unit
Okay,
lost.
that was a good attack force I brought with me. Great. We still got 3 artillery. In theory, that's enough.
Unit lost.
I don't care anymore. No, I do care. I don't want to get zapped by the obelisk.
Training. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready.
The artillery can destroy that. I'm sure the artillery can destroy that. I can't see. Let's just shoot the ground. That's the target. And my bullet just despawned because it phased out of existence. Construction yard, where are you? Reveal yourself to me. You cannot hide. No, I'm not going to destroy that actually, because that would probably bring a stealth generator back online. That's a construction yard. Missile silo is gone. He sold it.
Building.
Good choice of building.
Unit
In your
lost.
panic, that's probably the best building you could have built. Well
Unit
done.
Lost.
He's playing for the long game. Let's see how that goes for him.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Yes, yes, nice attempt.
Unit ready.
Okay. Would you believe one opponent is still fully functional? And it is purple. Big fan of subterranean flame tanks. Don't know anything else about him, except that he has...
Unit ready.
Well, he's therefore Nod, so he has cluster missiles and a hunter seeker. And he's going to be in the bottom left. What happened is all of my defending artillery are dead, except for 2.
Unit ready.
Oh no, wait, there's another 2 at the top, I'm blind.
Training.
Still, I've lost some.
Unit ready. Unit
I do
ready.
need to not die whilst I'm doing this attack. That is important.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready.
It's just revenge at this point. Don't think I need to do anything else to Orange here, I could just walk away. But this is satisfying.
Training. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready. Missile launch detected.
That will be Purple's missile launch.
Unit ready.
Where's it going? My infantry.
Under attack.
Okay. I caught that one in time.
On hold. Building. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Orange just started selling buildings, if you're wondering why he suddenly got millions of infantry. Have I destroyed his barracks? I'm not sure. No, I haven't. So he got a load of infantry from selling his buildings, and then he also got a load of money, which he spent on infantry, because his barracks is still somewhere. Probably top left, looking at where all these units are coming from. Please don't kill me. He's not a threat though, he doesn't have any source of income anymore, I don't think.
Building.
Also, my Cyborg Commando has his half-life. Once he's been killed, he has his crawling on the floor form. So he's not as close to death as he looks. Must be nice to be able to view the map. There we go.
Unit ready.
Oh, you really are finished.
Unit ready.
Someone give this man a promotion. Single-handedly destroyed the whole base. Can't believe Yellow's still alive.
Unit ready.
Reminder, I'm still on the clock. There's still someone with 2 super weapons. And I still can't... Oh. There's still 3 super weapons. I forgot about this. So on the one hand, it looks like a massive mistake that I forgot to kill the Temple of Nod. Or rather, I didn't realise I hadn't killed the Temple of Nod. But on the other hand, he was in low power the whole time. So his Hunter Seeker wasn't ticking around. It doesn't progress when it's in low power. Orange is sold up. He's given up. He is just infantry and maybe some harvesters. Fantastic. You know what? I'm gonna take a little bath in the Tiberium. I can become a fully healed cripple. That is a good number of artillery. That is what I like to see. It's a pretty strong force.
Missile launch detected.
So launch detected is terrifying. Let's keep moving in case it's aimed at the infantry pack, and let's not stand where the infantry were.
Unit lost.
Okay, that's fine. That was a SAM site.
Unit ready.
Awaiting orders. Orders received.
My Cyborg Commander is dead, and I'm not sure how. He was supposed to be relaxing in the fields, but instead he's just dead. That's alright. He certainly played his part in defeating Orange. Basically did it single-handedly.
Unit ready.
Just to make absolutely certain there isn't anything up here, but I'm... Where's there a bridge?
On my way. Moving out. Orders received.
There's nothing here, right? No, there's nothing there. It's bottom left. I know it's bottom left. It must be, Yeah, there must just be a bridge to it. It's disorienting not having the map.
Building. Training. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Now this fork in the road must lead to a
Unit ready.
bridge. It's gonna need repairing, isn't it? Yes, of course it is.
Unit ready.
That's my. I should have realised that was coming.
Unit ready.
The AI never repairs the bridges. I don't know why. It just,
Unit ready.
I guess it's kind of difficult to program when they should and when they shouldn't repair bridges, so they just are set to never do it.
Unit ready.
I just heard burrowing. Am I about to get attacked by flame
Cannot
tanks?
deploy here.
Stay frosty, boys. The flame tank defense crew is here,
Unit lost.
and we've got to be careful because flame tanks are strong against infantry,
Unit lost. Unit lost.
and artillery are weak at close range. And, okay, fine. Oh, flame tanks. You do make me laugh.
Unit ready.
Get ready for the unit lost, and ignore it. It's coming.
Missile launch
That's a
detected.
frightening noise!
Unit lost.
That unit lost is relevant.
Unit lost.
Oh, my army.
Unit lost.
I mean, haha, flame tanks, but... My army.
Training. Unit ready. Building. Unit ready.
It's the problem. I set up an attack force. I come in.
Unit ready.
I don't even get into the base, and I've lost half of my
Unit
army to a
ready.
missile.
Unit ready.
Oh well, it's on cooldown now. Let's see if we can do some damage. We've got a cyborg commando, so if we could just get in, he can probably destroy everything. Artillery can kill any obelisks or things. That... Okay, I have no anti-air, but one Banshee isn't going to stop me.
Unit ready.
What do you got? A very well-positioned obelisk. That's a lot of units.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
That obelisk
Unit
is so
lost.
well-positioned.
Cannot deploy here. Unit
That's the kind of thing a human player would do.
Unit lost.
Go on, cyborg.
Unit lost.
Find something good. That's not good. That's a reserve obelisk in the back, and that's 3
Unit
artillery
lost.
covering the entrance to the bridge. This is such a well-defended base.
Unit ready.
Look, there's an obelisk to zap you as you go in. When you emerge from the bridge, there's 3 artillery to blow you up. And if you try to run past it all, there's an obelisk in the back, which is terrible design. But for
On
my
hold.
strategies, it's actually also irritating.
Building.
So good to know this isn't going to be an easy take of the final base. So, you know, do away with any ideas of that. God, how am I even going to do this? Do we have any anti-air left?
Harvester under attack.
Oh, I don't care. Basically just throwing stones at me.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit lost. Harvester under attack. Harvester under attack. Harvester under attack. Training. Harvester under attack. Harvester under attack. Missile launch detected. Training.
Not sure what the point is of this small infantry skirmish outside the base.
Insufficient funds.
From Purple's point of view, he just needs to defend until his super weapon can kill me.
Cannot deploy here. Unit lost. Cannot deploy here. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit lost. Cannot deploy here.
Alright, very good, very good. You have a few infantry out in front for no discernible reason. Great. Now let's begin actually attacking.
Unit ready.
That's my commando.
Unit ready.
There he is.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Okay, so question number one. Can the artillery reach the obelisk from this side? Surely they can. That is not too far. Not for artillery. I'm pretty sure we can reach that. I'm also going to spread my artillery out a bit so when the cluster missile hits it only kills half of them. Realistically, it will probably kill 2. From the defense squad. With a flanking maneuver. How fancy. You have been training. I may blow up the bridge here, but that's fine. I'll just repair it later. So one thing worth noting in this attack is that firstly, he's repairing, so he has a lot of money. Secondly, if I destroy the obelisk, that's not job done. The obelisk will just get rebuilt. So destroying the obelisk gives me a window to attack. It doesn't mean... Hey, that threat's gone.
Unit ready.
Banshees, however, are very expensive.
Unit lost.
And they are not invincible fighter prototypes, like Kane says they are. Also, I'm not sure if it exactly happened, but the way it looked like the Banshee fell onto the cell tank and took it down. If that's actually what happened. Okay, could have been worse. We knew it was coming. That's also... okay, this is quite good. Fine, whatever. This is quite good. Because the Hunter Seeker and the cluster missile are both on cooldown, and the obelisk is dead, probably being rebuilt. So this is the least defended this base is ever going to be. So let's go see if we can find something worth killing. Once we get shelled by artillery on the way in. Oh, no, I just want a construction yard. That didn't work. There's another Banshee as well. Oh, a bit ambitious, really, but if the construction yard had been there, that would have been great. Revealed a bit more for the artillery to shoot at, I suppose. Purple doesn't have that much money. I mean, I said he had a lot of money, and he does, because he's repairing, but... His harvests never leave the base, I've noticed. I'm guarding the ice flow. So he's living off of one tree. Don't know how much he has banked up, but... Interesting. He rebuilt the helipad, but didn't rebuild the obelisk. I guess he's not as wealthy as I thought he was. Some genius tactical play there.
Unit lost.
As the rocket soldiers stand at the bottom of the cliff and shoot upwards into the cliff. It's my kind of tactics. I like this. This is a proper siege. We've got them trapped inside. And they're living off whatever they have. Whatever scraps they have to hand.
Ready.
But they're still a very real threat to me.
Building. Building.
If the bridge goes, I don't care.
Unit
Yeah,
ready.
fine, whatever. It took down some tic tanks.
Unit ready. Training. Unit ready.
The real question is, how do I...
Missile launch detected. Unit ready.
Where is it? Where's the missile launch? Boy, there's so many buggies.
Base under attack. Unit lost.
Okay. I just lost my war factory. Which means I don't get any more artillery.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Okay. Cyborg Commando's gonna have to solo this once again.
Training. Unit ready.
I genuinely don't know what I'm going to do about those artillery. There's only 3 artillery, so I guess I have to brute force my way through it. But it's so annoying, because 3 artillery will do more than half of my Cyborg Commando's life. They will really hurt him. By the way, watch these tanks on the ice flow. This is great. Bloop, bloop, bloop. So what's happening there is, tanks, when they drive over the ice flow, if they drive over cracked ice, they will sink. And the AI doesn't really navigate the cracked ice. But even worse than that, when the artillery hits the tanks, it cracks the ice beneath them. So then they just immediately sink. It's great. I love it. Okay, attack bikes don't sink, but they don't have any HP worth speaking of either, so they'll just get blown up.
Unit lost.
I found a plan, by the way, guys.
Training.
So, hear me out.
Ready.
I have 1 helipad, and from that 1 helipad I'm going to build 5 harpies. Now when you build a harpy, it comes fully loaded. Now I know you're supposed to have 1 helipad per helicopter, but in times of emergency, we don't care about that anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to suicide charge an entire swarm, fleet, squadron, an entire squadron of harpies, which are all fully armed, because they've just been built, and they're going to suicide dive on the artillery. They won't come back alive. Maybe they will, and if they do, it will take me a week to rearm them all on my one helipad. But it will kill the artillery, in theory, hopefully. It's the most expensive cleansing of artillery I've ever seen, but I don't know what else I can do. I would cluster missile them if I still had that as an option. Right. This is our attack then. So we're going to kill these, and then we're going to attack quickly before they can be replaced. Although even if they are replaced, there's no guarantee they'll be replaced in the same position. Yes, you have a SAM site, very good. Yes, you have stealth tanks that can shoot up, very good. This is going way better than I thought.
Unit lost.
I'll be honest, I didn't think Harpies did much damage to
Unit lost.
vehicles at all. I thought they would struggle to kill one before they ran out of ammo, but actually they're going to kill all three easily and return back to base with about half ammo.
Lost.
Good work, lads. That obelisk is back. That Hunter Seeker's terrifying.
Unit lost.
Thought it was going to go for my engineer then. Right, the tanks coming across the ice floe are dead. We know how that works. We set up a strong defensive line here. We send the commando across. We wait until the obelisk is dead. There's no artillery to bombard him. The helipad that contained the Banshee is gone and has not been rebuilt. This is the best attack we're ever going to get. Purple's wasting his entire army that he's just built up over the ice floes. Down you go.
Training.
One of the deadly technicians has been taken out by the artillery. This is it. This is our chance. This is where we win.
Unit ready.
I'm gonna micro this, don't you worry. This is the most serious control I've ever done in my life.
Unit ready.
Destroy the Banshee just in case it's armed. Or no, maybe just don't provoke the Banshee. Don't go anywhere near the obelisk on the left because we're not an idiot.
Unit ready.
How are you still alive, man? South generator hides a lot of units. Should be fine with proper control. Okay, I'm missing you.
Unit ready.
Okay, okay.
Training.
Not bad, not bad.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Pop up crew.
Unit
Yeah,
ready.
don't kill the harvesters, that's not going to do anything.
Unit ready.
Technically speaking, I'm still on Tiberium, so I'm healing. Right, let's bring the reinforcements in. What are you doing, man? That's not the threat! Although it is taking away my healing ground.
Missile launch detected.
Yes, I'm sure it is.
Unit
Fine, a
lost.
little annoying that it took out a handful of infantry, but... it's fine, it could have gone worse. Release that.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit
That
ready.
unit lost is a Hunter Seeker. Going for the power, so
Unit
to
ready.
turn off the stealth generator, so I can actually see. Also,
Unit
there's an obelisk on
lost.
the left.
Unit ready.
This looks fine.
Unit ready. Training.
Just set a rally point to outside this base. Well, I mean, realistically, where else am I going to need units? There's enough defending the base in case of random flame tank attack.
Unit ready.
Just shot my own man, that's good. Keeps morale up. Stealth is offline. Fantastic. I'm gonna go have a quick nap. You guys take over.
Ready. Unit ready.
Why is that thing so tanky? You gotta die. Die, man.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
The obelisk is back.
Unit lost.
Let's not attack just yet. Slow and steady. We're healing. We're fine.
Training. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit
I tell you,
ready.
Cyborg Commando has pulled his weight in gold in this mission.
Unit lost.
Take that random piece of snow.
Unit lost.
How about losing units? Right, let's power him down.
Training. Unit ready. Unit
There it
ready.
is, we found it. Okay. Permanent damage time.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
What's left? Barracks, War Factory, Temple of Nod, Nuclear Silo. Okay, there's one.
Missile launch detected. Unit lost.
I can't see. Right. So almost everything is here. Enough of your damn super weapons. Oh, I see the missile silo in the bottom right as well. Oh, right. Your power's back on, because I destroyed the temple. That makes sense.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
I think we've done it.
Training. Unit ready.
Don't want to speak too soon or anything, but
Unit ready.
I really do think we've done it.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready.
It's over. We're on cleanup duty.
Unit ready. Unit
No one's a
lost.
threat anymore. That's the worst possible army I could ever send to deal with that, but I don't care.
Unit ready.
Nothing is a threat to me. I have 5 artillery at base. Can defend against any number of infantry, random infantry attacks that they can get by selling their buildings. Purple has no production structures left. Red can only build aircraft and just won't.
Unit ready.
I think green's in the same position, just aircraft.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Oh, it's over.
Unit ready.
This is gonna be disaster, but I don't care. I've got infinite time, I've got infinite money.
Unit lost.
Nothing matters anymore.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
There's 20,000 harvesters on the
Unit
map, but we'll
lost.
kill them all eventually.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Red's bombers is basically the only thing that can fight back.
Unit
I could sit in my base and hunt a seeker until I win.
Unit
Good effort,
lost.
lads. Yeah, this army's a bit more suited to the job.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Right then, let's attack. We've got some artillery that can help us clear things out faster.
Training.
Oh, right,
Unit
bombers.
lost. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit
Well, now you're
ready.
just slowing things down, Red. What are you doing this?
Player 1 was defeated.
Player 1 defeated. Take that, Player 1. I get the feeling I'm about to defeat someone else. Place your bets on what number it'll be this time.
Player 1 was
Take that, Player 1. Get out of my game.
training. Unit ready.
Now, there's just Player 1 and Player 1 left to go.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Alright, here's the plan. 1 million infantry in through the front door. I've got some harpies left. You want to do something? I mean, you're just gonna die. Hey, why not? That's kind of fun.
Training.
Oh,
Unit
right.
ready. Unit ready.
I could walk around on the ice floe, but
Unit ready.
the rally point's here and everything.
Unit ready.
And I'm lazy, okay? I'm lazy.
Unit ready.
This is the sort of victory parade. We don't need to
Unit
rush it.
ready.
We just need to relax.
Training. Unit ready. Training. Unit
But
ready.
oh boy, what a skirmish this
Unit
was.
ready. Unit ready.
I'll be completely honest with you, okay?
Unit ready.
Let's cut the jokes.
Unit ready.
When I lost my construction yard, I thought that was it. I thought that I was just done for. The fact that I couldn't replace buildings, I thought the super weapons were going to rip me to shreds.
Unit ready.
I wasn't convinced I could even do this at all, ever, because of the
Unit ready.
power of 4 players worth of super weapons all trained on me. But I thought there was a chance. And then when I lost my construction yard, I just thought, no, we're done. But I'll play on,
Unit lost.
you know, give it a go.
Unit ready.
Might learn something. Never in my wildest dreams did I think we could get here.
Unit ready.
You're right, Greenhouse things.
Unit ready.
It's been a long time since I came to visit you.
Insufficient funds. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Can my anti-air please anti his air? Thank you. Beautiful stuff. By the way, I've noticed something.
Unit lost.
Firstly, I built that second engineer for any future bridges I might need.
Lost.
But I noticed that this
Unit lost.
refinery, that what I thought was a refinery, because I saw the big grey base plate, is actually a war factory.
Unit lost. Unit
So
lost.
green, I thought I'd lost his war factory to someone else before I arrived, because I never found it. I revealed that building enough to see the big metallic base plate, and I assumed it was a refinery, because if you look at the refinery, if you just see the bottom right of the building, they look the same. But no, I was wrong. It was a war factory. And so what I thought was green doesn't have any production left is incorrect. What actually happened, from what I can see, is that green's harvester bugged out and stopped harvesting because he had a refinery, but he was just sat there. You saw when this attack happened a second ago? He was just sat there for no reason whatsoever. So he bugged out. And now I have vehicles again. Wait. A thought. A fun thought.
Unit ready.
Leave it with me. I have a fun idea. You'll see.
Unit ready.
You'll see, and you'll like it. You've probably guessed it already, but it'll be fun.
Unit ready.
Anyway, Nod Titans will help me break into red against his bombers.
Unit ready.
Yeah, take that.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Player one was
Take that, player one.
unit ready.
The best way to celebrate is with a bit of fun, right? I got something in mind.
Unit ready. Training.
If I was a better YouTuber, I'd do the whole leave your guess in the comments below, but I'm above that.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
And if you like the fact that I'm above that, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button.
Unit ready.
Joking, don't smash anything, you'll damage your mouse. It's terrible. Okay. We have an anti-air force. Come on, bomb me. Do your worst. Okay. Then I shall bomb you.
Unit lost.
Well, I got one bomber. It's kind of successful. My biggest threat here is,
Training.
I mean, direct damage from the bombers can just kill a lot of Titans, but also they can blow up the bridge,
Unit
which
ready.
would be annoying. What was that? That was terrifying. Don't do that again to me, game,
Unit
please.
ready.
I didn't come this far for that to happen.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Okay, whatever, we're across the bridge.
Unit lost.
Near enough. Destroy the damn helipads. I've had enough of this.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Have you guessed what the fun is yet? In case it's
Unit
obvious,
lost.
the fun has not happened yet.
Unit
The fun
lost.
is yet to happen.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
You have one disruptor
Unit lost.
mid-repair that you just kept back in reserve.
Unit lost.
Why do you have so many
Unit
defensive
lost.
structures? It's irritating.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Is that all the helipads? No, there's one more on the right. Alright, slowly does it. Have you spotted the fun yet? It's getting ever closer.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Okay, he has nothing left. Behold, entertainment.
Captured.
I have captured a GDI tech
Building.
building. Place. Center, that was the word I wanted. We shall crush GDI with the Mammoth Mark II.
Training. Unit lost.
Also, I'm going to build a cyborg commando because he deserves it.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Where is he?
Unit ready.
Here he is.
Unit ready.
Come join the fight. That's it, that was my fun.
Unit ready.
It's about time we finish this. He's been a thorn in my side long enough. Now where the hell is the rest of Red's base? Please don't make me hunt down harvesters. I don't have a map. I can't see. Red has not been eliminated. He has something somewhere. Oh, okay, everyone.
Training.
Investigate.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Well, we can relax by watching Mammoth destroy what remains of yellow.
Unit ready.
That'll be a good time for everyone.
Unit ready.
But Red is hiding something somewhere.
Unit ready.
Good luck, Mammoth. Titan. Hey, he made it across.
Unit
That's
ready.
blind luck.
Unit ready.
Gonna build Wolverines. They're quite fast and they don't sink on the ice flows.
Training. Unit
They're just the
ready.
better scouts. Alright. Just check that for me, please. Hello. Nod has arrived. And he wants to have a word.
Unit lost.
That's my Hunter Seeker that was lost, don't worry.
Silos needed. Building. Unit ready. Unit ready.
But what? Has he built those into the cliff?
Unit
What?
lost. Unit ready.
Why did the Mammoth do so poor? It was useless. Oh. Seriously though, are those component towers built into the cliff? I could not click on them. No matter how hard I tried. Oh, I don't care anymore.
Building.
It's done, that's all I care about. Fourth time lucky on selecting that unit.
Unit ready.
Oh, that's what you're hiding. A bomber. How cheeky. Where are you going, Red? No one likes a sore loser, just admit it's over. Let me send a real army to
Building.
deal with Mammoth's mess.
Training. Unit ready.
Those component towers are seriously built into the cliff.
Unit lost.
Oh god, I don't even know anymore.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost.
And he's got so much money for repair still.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
This guy was the real threat all along. He's got tech that the rest of the players never heard of.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
I'm hoping if I destroy the refinery and the helipad, then he will just sell.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
Okay, he's selling anyway.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Right, where did that bomber run off to?
Unit
Stop repairing.
ready. Unit lost.
Okay, I was going to worry that he was still alive, but it's probably just this harvester. He was keeping in reserve for a rainy day. Look, if all else fails, I'm going to release a hunter-seeker to find that helicopter. It will find it.
Unit lost.
Cabal, you didn't say it, so I will. Player 1 defeated. Now, without a minimap, let's find one helicopter that's flown off somewhere. It could be somewhere I've explored, it could be somewhere I've never been. It could be literally anywhere, it's a helicopter. Nice island. Okay. What over here? Oh, there's a harvester. I'll have that. Still looking for that bomber though. I don't think it died. Maybe it landed next to the Titan after it bombed it, so it might be dead. But there's definitely a harvester.
Training. Unit ready.
Oh no, there he is.
Unit ready.
This should end it then. Let's let a mammoth finish it. Redemption.
Unit ready. Player 1 was defeated.
It's over. Good grief. That was a roller coaster. I've been Artega Omega. This has been Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun Skirmish Mode, Tech Level 10, AI Level 2, 1 versus 7. And what a mission it was. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, and hopefully you'll join me for whatever we do next. I'll see you then.